Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be looking at the Mazda 3 Turbo. Before we get in this video, I want to give you a huge shout out and thank you to the Southtown Mazda here in Sandy, Utah for giving me some time with this Mazda 3. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get right into it. Under the hood we have a turbo 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed automatic. Fuel economy is 23 around town and then 31 on the highway, with power outputs being 250 horsepower and then 320 pound-feet of torque on premium. Now before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the hood, you guys can see how it's flat in the center. That's one of the things I love about Mazda's design language. Just makes the cars look a whole lot sharper and really emphasizes the cool headlight design they've got going on. You can see how this is all darker with the trim here at the bottom, which looks really sharp, and in general, just a good looking car. Now on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 215 by 45 by 18 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see how the wheels are completely blacked out with this particular one, so it matches the bodywork there all along the bottom of the car. But you do have some silver trim around the windows, which I've always found kind of odd. Anyways, this is the hatchback, so got that cool hatchback silhouette. And taking a look at the key fob, we've got the Mazda logo. We have our lock and unlock function. Pretty straightforward setup, which pretty cool. Now we'll take a quick look at the taillights before we take a look at the hatch. Again, very cool effect overall. Now the hatch is pretty fun. So you've got the button just under the Mazda logo, and then you can open that up. This provides more space vertically compared to the sedan. Also comes with a cargo cover built in from the factory. You can also lock the car here from the rear, but they give you this nice handle so you can just kind of plop that down. But of course, turbo badge and everything there in the back, and it's the rest of the rear. Now this leads us inside, where we've got a very nice interior. So you can see here the stitching that goes across there at the top and down below as well. And then here are the seats, perforated trim all down the center portion. Now, it's not going to be massively spacious. Again, this is a Mazda 3 at the end of the day. But I do kind of fit back here, but knees are kind of shoved up against the seat a little bit. But at least the seats are nice and comfy. And then headroom is, well, the sunroof system kind of makes this come down a little bit, but it's pretty good overall. And then, of course, this leads us up front, where you can see we've got soft touch here at the top, which is pretty nice. It's not quite as soft as the trim that you have down below. We've got all of our window controls here, mirror adjustments as well. You can see here, speaker for the sound system. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors too. And then nice perforations here with the seat. All of your adjustments there on the side. And then you guys can see here with the parking sensors, 360 camera, you got the memory seat function too. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see nice soft touch trim all around. We've got paddle shifters here on the back for the 6-speed automatic. Bunch of practical controls here on the front, like our cruise control with our lane centering. That's a nice feature to have. Volume controls, voice command controls, all of that. And then traditional stocks here on the back, which the camera doesn't seem to want to focus on. There we go. And speaking of traditional, we've got the 3-gauge layout that I think Mazda's kind of like famous for now. At this point, it's just what they have in all their cars. But yeah, digital unit there in the center, which you can just kind of make look like a traditional tack. I think it looks very clean. Sport mode will pop in there at the bottom as well. Now I do have a 360 camera system, great resolution. Trajectory lines turn with the steering wheel and all of that, so I think that's all solid. And then yeah, Mazda's infotainment system, so really easy to use. Quick response time with the click function. It is not a touchscreen, it's all controlled via a dial. We do have a heads-up display there, and then you can see kind of the trim all across the dash here and the design that they've gone for. Also nice finish on the controls here. Dual zone climate, heated seats, heated steering wheel as well. You can see a little kind of storage area here. Shifter here for the 6-speed automatic. Got the drive mode select right next to that. And yeah, this is the control for the infotainment system. I should say, if you do like Apple CarPlay with the screen, that does have touchscreen functionality. Anyways, got a little volume control there, which is pretty cool. Nice trim here on the side. And then center console is quite spacious. And it slides forwards, which is pretty cool. Nice handle in the glove box. Good storage there. And then we do have a sunglass holder up top, and then we've got a sunroof as well. Now, the Mazda 3 Turbo has gotten a little bit more expensive over the years. This one is a premium Plus, and it's also the hatchback as well. So this is pretty loaded up. You can see the base MSRP, and then you do have some options. Total MSRP there, $39,270. See how it performs. Well, Mazda 3 Turbo. Let us set off, and I do have some thoughts on this car, but I will say this is nice. This is super nice. The other hot hatchbacks on the market, they should take some notes from Mazda in terms of, you know, how to build a premium feeling interior, especially like Volkswagen. Volkswagen goes for premium, but their interiors just don't feel quite as high quality as what Mazda's going on here. And I mean, the Golf R is 10 grand more than this, so ride quality's pretty good for, again, this segment. Steering's nice too. Mazda does a good job with their steering feeling, you know, kind of more direct. Yeah, I like the overall suspension dampening. It's nice. Turn signal sound is cool. It's very just strong sounding. Kind of weird way to put it. I'm actually gonna pop into the sport mode here. Looks like we might be clear to scoot up here. Good torque. And this is all about torque. And it all, well, depends on what kind of gas you put in it. If you do regular, it's 227 and then 310 for the torque, but the premium jumps it up to that 320 figure, which is cool. Yeah, this is nice. Torque. That's what these are all about, is torque. I mean, think about how fun this would be with a manual. Because I mean, you do have the paddles here, but they're kind of like not the fastest to respond. They're smooth, but they're not quick. So it's always interesting to see. But the Mazda 3 Hatchback Turbo, it's a really cool car. And again, you look at this and you compare it to a lot of the other stuff that is going on in this kind of like segment, you know, hot hatchback segment. And everything else is just a lot more expensive, or front wheel drive, right? This has all wheel drive and it's a bit more affordable, but doesn't have a manual as an option. It's one thing that I do think is kind of holding this back to an extent. And something that I was thinking about reviewing this is another thing that is kind of weird is the pricing of this. So this is the same price as a Mazda CX-5 Carbon Turbo. And the Carbon Turbo, right, kind of has that sporty look, has the turbo engine, same transmission, and it's got ventilated seats. I mean, this still has like a lot of features and everything with the sunroof and all heated seats, 360 camera, but I just think it's interesting. The CX-5 is not any more expensive, and you get like a larger, slightly larger car. It's an SUV. So I don't know. I mean, I know some people like, this is hatchbacks end all be all, this is all they'll do, but me as a car enthusiast, I love the CX-5 kind of like driving dynamics. This is a weird way to end a video, but yeah, I don't know, I almost like would rather get one of those CX-5s than this. I still think this is a really cool car. I just think that Mazda is holding it back by just a couple things: not offering a manual transmission, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Manual transmission. And you know what they could do that would be crazy, that I think would sell really well, is they've got that new turbo 3.3 liter inline six that's in the 90s and the 70s. That in a Mazda 3, ooh, good gravy. It would be game over for everyone. Nobody would buy anything else other than the Mazda 3 at that point. But either way, let me know what you guys think about the Mazda 3 Turbo. Still a really cool, kind of like luxury, true luxury hot hatch, right? It does a much better job at the luxury stuff, in my opinion, than the Golf R. The Golf R obviously has got more power, is a little bit sportier, but the interior is just so cheap feeling compared to what Mazda's got going on here.